take you 30 seconds to see it. We're live? We're live. Just make sure we get here. Okay, they're about to begin. Take a start. They're about to begin. Wait, let's be ready now.
Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you to the Arcadia Performing Arts Center. If you would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We are really so proud to have a robust arts and music program here in Arcadia Unified, and we've had the pleasure of hearing beautiful music from our very talented Arcadia High School String Quartet. Would you please join me in another round of applause to thank all of our students? Well, I'm excited to welcome all of you to the Arcadia Unified State of the District. Thank you for taking the time to be here tonight, either here in person or online. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Shirley Yee, and I am a parent of a graduate of Arcadia High, as well as a parent of a current senior at Arcadia High School. And I'm very honored to serve as the Arcadia Unified School Board President this year. I would also like to take this time to introduce my fellow board members seated up here with me. First is Vice President of the board, Raymond Chung. He's also a parent of 2 students in Arcadia. Next is our clerk of the board, Kay Kinsler. And she is also a parent of 2 Arcadia graduates. Next is our board member, Fenton Ng. Again, a parent of 2 Arcadia's graduates. And last but not least, board member Lee Chavez. And yes, she's also a parent of 2 Arcadia graduates. Do you see a pattern going here? Well, I'm just really excited to introduce Jennifer Vargo, who will be joining the school board on July 1st of this year. Jennifer is also a current parent of 2 Arcadia students and also a graduate of Arcadia High. And many of you probably already know Jen, since she has been a part of Arcadia Unified's community for many years as a parent, volunteer, not only in the classroom, but at all levels of PTA, including Arcadia Council PTA President, and many other volunteer positions, such as the Measure A Oversight Committee. On behalf of the board, I would like to welcome Jennifer Vargo, and we really look forward to working with her starting in July. So as parents and as board members, we understand the importance of our role to oversee and provide oversight and governance for Arcadia Unified. We really value our district's commitment to creating a collaborative environment where departments share information and best practices, all with the whole child in mind. One of the best parts of being an Arcadia Unified board member is the yearly board learning walks at all of our school sites. And you'll see some pictures up here with some of the visits that we've done in the past. In fact, tomorrow we're really excited to be touring Arcadia High School. And just last week, we had a wonderful tour of Longley Way. And before I move on, I just wanted to give a shout out to my Longley Way tour guides, Lily Smith and Natalie Chavarin, and I hope I got the last name right. These 2 students guided me through their school with their school pride, poise, extensive knowledge of their school and staff. Lily and Natalie showed leadership and empathy and really showed us how our programs that we've integrated into our schools, such as Leader in Me, are giving our students the skills to make a positive and profound impact on our world. a district purpose that continues to guide us in every decision we make for our school district. The board really appreciates the opportunity to see firsthand how the district's values are playing out in our classrooms and to assess if the available resources are being utilized effectively and realistically. Being able to see how our work is impacting our students at each school site is an important part of our role as being good stewards of our district. So we will start tonight's State of the District with our superintendent, Dr. Van Ansdell.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, board members, staff, students, parents, and our community members. Thank you for joining us, whether it's live or online streaming. You're going to hear from a handful of people, I think 18 tonight, and I just want to recognize that we are just here tonight with the privilege to represent the work of over 9,000 students, over 1,300 staff members, and of course the entire community that is committed to education in Arcadia Unified. So this is really a privilege tonight, and we've been working really hard on it, and it truly is our story. So I hope you enjoy our story tonight. I want to begin our presentation the same way that we begin every conversation in Arcadia Unified and every decision-making process, and that is embedded in our values. We went through an extensive process many years ago, several years ago now, and I am confident that our values that emerged back then are as relevant as they were back then. They are as relevant today. And so our values: collaborate, think critically, be creative, offer empathy, and learn from failure. These are the values that we lean in every single day, and especially during those difficult times when we're against some difficult decisions. That last one, I would love to go into depth about each of them, but I'll take a moment to just talk about, I get the most questions as superintendent on that last value, learning from failure. And usually it's when I'm standing in the lobby of the district office and someone looks up and says, "Do you really want the word failure on the wall in your district office?" And I pause and I say, yes, that's exactly why we need it there, because many of us grew up in an era where you only engaged, you only raised your hand if you had the right answer. Boy, the world has changed, and we understand now that the best gift we can give our students is to model risk-taking, what it means to fall forward, what it means to engage in something, a healthy conflict and struggle where you don't know the answer, but you're willing to engage and be vulnerable and take that risk. That is a gift regardless of what career any of our students decide to pursue. We know that's a tool that they're going to take with them. So we're really proud of our values, and they continue to guide all of our work. All of those values lead to a purpose statement. That's our why. It's the why we exist, why we show up every day. And that is to challenge and inspire students to make a positive and profound impact on their world. And that key is their world. Understanding that the world that they're going to live in and have to navigate and work in may be very different than our world and the world today. And we're excited about that work and preparing them. So I want to, if you'll move on, I want to talk a little bit about the district overview. That is, what are the schools that make up our district? And I share that because we work really hard on having neighborhood schools, and our parents are very involved in our community schools. And often a lot of our new parents to Arcadia get very involved in their local school, in elementary, and they have no idea how many schools are out there. They know their path of elementary, middle, and ultimately to Arcadia High. But so I always just like to remind people. So we do have 11 schools in Arcadia. We have 6 elementary schools that feed into 3 middle schools, and then we have 1 comprehensive high school and 1 alternative learning program. And of course, as I mentioned before, that's with nearly 9,000 students and close to 1,300 employees. Tonight, you're going to hear, as I said, from 18 people that are going to be talking about 360 degrees of our district. And you're going to see some themes, and you're going to hear some themes. And those start with tradition and innovation. And I'm mingling those two together from the beginning for a reason. When I first came to this district, first of all, you just realize it's dripping in rich tradition. No matter where you looked, any event you went to, the people that were retired coming back and working, there was so much tradition. But sometimes when people think of tradition, they think of being paralyzed by, we can't do anything new, right? Like, this is the way we do things. This is our tradition. And what impressed me the most about Arcadia was not only is it rich in tradition, but everyone's always challenging the status quo. That you can have tradition, but it's about building on tradition and always asking, is there a better way to do this? And that's where that innovation comes in. But I'll back up with tradition. Tradition you will see from the boardroom to the classroom, and you don't have to go far, and it's something that I'm very proud to share with people. Tonight, President Yee shared that we have a new board member coming on, Jennifer Vargo. Thank you for being here. And it would be easy to just see that slide and say, here's a transition. That's what normally happens. Someone goes off the board, someone goes on. But I'll pause just for a moment and share with you the tradition that you may or may not see. That seat's being opened because we have someone that's served over 13 years to this school board. Just let that sink in for a minute. 13 years of a lot of school board meetings, approving a lot of programs, a lot of expenditures, shepherding, students into elementary that have now gone to high school and through. And not just her own kids, but giving back to serving all kids. That seat's being replaced by someone that fits that same strong tradition of being a parent in elementary, being a parent in middle, and having your own kids go through the school system, being dedicated to the school system, committed as a volunteer, not just from the outside watching, but being committed to that and knowing what's going on, and then saying, I'm willing to step up. And you don't have to go far to look around to find that right now a lot of elected officials, it's about how much money can one side raise for a campaign. And it's basically, how can we buy a seat, whether it's a city council or a board seat. And I'm very proud and just want to recognize that in Arcadia, those seats aren't bought, they're earned. They're earned by people that serve not only their kids and dedicated to the local schools, but then step up and want to serve all kids. And that is something that we have that's unique here in Arcadia. It's very delicate, it's very fragile, and it's something we have to hold on to and strive for and work for. So I want to say thank you to Kay Kinsler. I know we still have some months left. And also congratulations to Jennifer Vargo coming on. Thank you for stepping up. That's the boardroom. Now the classroom. I just this past weekend, like many of you, had the opportunity to attend the spaghetti dinner, the Arcadia Band and Color Guard's annual 57 years. Think about that tradition. The students have changed, demographics change over time, but the excellence in the band remains, and those traditions remain. And my favorite part of that was watching the annual drill down, where students are called out on the floor, and they get a chance to show their marching skills that they practice, and they drill on at their practices. And we watched as a young man, Christopher, he was so proud as a freshman, and I know the freshmen come in and they're just learning for the first time. He stepped out on that, Christopher Engel stepped out on that floor with all the confidence in the world, and he ended up winning, and there was a shout at the end, and you could just see how the pride, and you can see the pride in his peers that were just so proud of all the work that he had put into it. But those strong traditions run solid through Arcadia, and it's just worth acknowledging. The innovation I mentioned, which is the world is rapidly changing, and then process. The Arcadia Unified is like a living organism, and it's a strong organism, and it has that tradition, but it also is fragile in that any one movement anywhere on that, and it impacts the whole organism, right? And so process in an organization like Arcadia with this tradition is so important, and that's something that we really cherish in Arcadia. And then lastly, the relationships. We are a people business, simply stated. We are a people business. And at the end of the day, anything that we achieve together through those trusting relationships, whether that's working between management and our labor unions, working with our parent organizations, our foundations. The relationships are everything. So those are the themes that you're going to hear tonight, and at this time I'll turn it over to Dr. Forsen.
Thank you, Dr. Van Osdal. Moving through some of our highlights tonight from teaching and learning, you're going to hear a lot about collaboration. And when I think of collaboration, I think of a dialogue. And so we're going to begin with the intentful collaboration between our school sites and our Ed Services team. And so the teaching and learning piece is really a dance with school sites, teachers, counselors, administrators doing the work where the magic happens. And then a district office where I now work, where we do our best to support that work and help that work and not get in the way and hinder that work. And sometimes, and that is a dance and that is a dialogue. And the better and more collaboration we have, the more effective we are as a team. And so one area I'd like to highlight is our multi-tiered systems of support. And this is a pathway we started about 2.5 to 3 years ago in its infancy. What I'd like to highlight is there's really two ways that we could have gone about that path and that work. One was to have our school sites do their thing. Hey, you tell us, you do your MTSS, do it, and whatever it is what it is, and have 10, 11 different schools doing 10 or 11 different things, not speaking the same language. And it probably would have worked for that school, but there wouldn't have been a lot of coherence. Another way would have been to say from the district office or my office saying, this is what we're going to do, this is the plan, and all of you will do this. Now, neither one of those would have worked very well, nor been very successful. And so I think the area here that I'm proud of, and I'm glad our principals are here, thank you for being here, is the dialogue and the dance of it's not either one of those, it's what are the school sites doing, what do teachers see working in the classroom, what's working for you as principals and administrators and counselors and teachers, and then what can we do from a district office to try to help and create the atmosphere and the culture to make sure that dialogue is happening so we get to more common languages, more common terms. And I remember Lee Chavez said a few years ago, that's something, having that common understanding was really important, and we agree. And so we're in year 3, and we are much further along in that dialogue and dance. And one example of that is our schools have MTSS leadership teams that work together at their sites, but then come back to the district office for a day 3 times a year and meet and talk and share, and we're getting to that coherence. And then their last meeting is also a learning walk where they go to different school sites to see, oh, this is what we heard about, now this is what we're seeing. So not only is our board going on learning walks, but our teachers are going on learning walks. Another area we're really excited about is expanded collaboration at all levels with Rancho, which is our alternative/independent study school. It has, in many ways, rebranded itself over the past couple years, and the collaboration between the teachers, the office staffs, the office managers, the counselors, and the administrators at those schools is hyper-focused on individual students, not just classes of students and work, but individual students and meeting individual student needs. And I could not be more proud of the work in we've talked about individualized education for a long time, and that is happening with the collaboration between our comprehensive school sites and Rancho Alternative School. Data-driven decision-making with a whole child focus. Essentially what that means is we get a lot of numbers in education. They aren't all helpful, but we get a lot of numbers. And what we try to remember is we have to look at numbers and make decisions with a soul. And so getting those numbers that may be in a spreadsheet, maybe from the state, maybe from the county, but drilling down and saying, what is the real picture around that student? Or what is the true picture or the true challenge for that group of students? They're not just a number on a spreadsheet. So data with a soul is what I hope you hear tonight. Then we've gone back to fundamentals. Refocusing, and I did not want to use this word, but I feel like I have to. Coming out of the pandemic, we felt that we really needed to refocus on fundamental skills in literacy and math. And so we have invested a lot of time and effort with our teaching staff in literacy, math, and science, and in training them or retraining them to deliver the best first instruction for our students. And so some examples of that you'll see in the parentheses are our Haggerty program that is showing tremendous success. The data we're getting back is very positive. Our cognitively guided instruction, which is our math framework for how we deliver instruction, and then the multiple text adoptions that you have thankfully voted to bring into our district that is transforming our instructional practices. Our ELOP program, which is our Extended Learning Opportunity Program, which is new to the state and new to the district, which serves over 500 of our unduplicated students and families in after-school care. And so very proud of that and how well it's going for being a brand new program. And then the expanded independent and individualized study options for students. And so we mentioned Rancho a little while ago, but to highlight the collaboration between Rancho and Arcadia High School, and again, things that they are doing with individual students to provide the very best individual experience for students who may have a special need or may have a special circumstance. And it's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not a, oh, we can't do that. It's constantly refining and looking at solutions, not looking at problems. So very proud of that work. And finally, targeted regular education intervention for students at every level. And that's something very proud of.
Good evening. I'm Catherine Mahoney, the Director of Special Education. It's a pleasure to be able to share the work of our amazing team. And when I say team, I really don't mean the siloed special education department of the past. The California Ed Code this year was amended with one short sentence, but it says all students with disabilities are general education students first. And I think with that in mind and with the approach of how we support students, our principals, our general education teachers, all of our staff have really always had that approach of looking to first see how we can be inclusive with our students and supporting their needs where they're at. We've had a fantastic and very busy first half of the 2023-2024 school year. Based on the needs of our students with disabilities, we were able to open additional specialized classes at Highland Oaks and Hugo Reed Elementary Schools. And we've been so fortunate to have been able to maintain a highly competitive recruitment approach due to the support of our Board of Education members and our Human Resources Department. And because of that, we are fully staffed with our special education teachers and related service providers. And it's worth noting that because that is a very unique position to be in California and the nation at this point. Very few districts are fully staffed with special education teachers. So that's something that is such a great support to our students to have that continuity and consistency. And makes us all very lucky. In addition, we were able to increase support staff for our special education programs in collaboration with our West San Gabriel Valley SELPA, which is our special education local plan area. And our students and teachers are benefiting from more occupational therapists, speech and language pathologists, a licensed clinical social worker, and school psychologists who also are board-certified board analysts. Another area where we stand out is that many of our neighboring districts have no board-certified behavior analysts, or maybe one, and we have been able to attract 8 to our district, which is, again, a huge support as the needs of our students change and we're able to meet them again where they are. Many, our special education teachers have been focusing, on additional in-depth training on literacy and specially designed instruction for students with disabilities, enhancing and targeting their instruction with data analysis. Our instructional aides have been participating in a variety of trainings such as behavior support and nonviolent crisis intervention. We continue to host 6 annual parent coffees, and our special education teachers on special assignment have been focusing on two parent-requested topics this year, partnering with our school teams and increasing students' independence outside of school. This year has also brought a significant data system change, as our previous special education data system, which was called CaseMIS, has merged with CalPADS, which is the data system used for all students in the state of California. It has been extremely time-consuming and has taken a lot of energy and effort on behalf of many staff members. But the benefit is it will allow for consistency as students with disabilities move within the state of California into different organizations so that their student story travels with them and they're not kind of lost in any of those moves. And finally, as Dr. Forsey mentioned, the Education Services Department continues to provide extensive general education interventions for students in grades TK through 5 in our implementation of our Comprehensive Coordinated Early Intervening Services, or our CSACE plan.
Good evening. I'm Dirk Essel, Assistant Superintendent for Business Services. Business Services covers a lot of areas within the district. Purchasing, transportation are a couple examples, and you'll hear some more up here later in the presentation. But right now I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes talking about the district's budget and its financial position, and especially in relation to the new state budget that just came out last week. So the state budget, the proposal from the governor came out last week, and typically we look for the good news in the budget, and the things that are not in the budget are sort of our wish list. But actually this time around, the good news is what's not in the budget, and that is despite projected deficits within the state budget for next year and also this year, public education in California will not be cut. We're going to be staying basically flat next year. Up on the screen, you'll see a history of our cost of living adjustments, or COLAs. Those are the increases to our funding that school districts receive to keep up with inflation. And you see that next year is just below 1%, 0.76%. We've had a couple really good years recently, but we're sort of getting back to our normal increases that we experience historically. We're also not going to be seeing any deferrals or deficits to our revenue from the state, and that's also a good thing. Here within Arcadia, some good news is our recent enrollment and attendance numbers. Our funding comes to us based on student attendance every day. And for the last 2 years, our enrollment has been up, and we have a very high attendance rate among our Arcadia students. And while, of course, that provides a better education for our students when they attend classes, it also provides more funding to the district. So that's good news here within Arcadia. Based on the state funding, which you see up on the slide, or actually, what I should say first, what you don't see on the slide is that the way the state funds school districts in California, based on our student population here in Arcadia, we're funded at about the bottom quarter of unified school districts in the state, and that's based on a per student funding level. The other issue that we have with the funding model in the state is that it's very volatile. What you see up here on screen is how state revenues and also school district funding is sort of driven by the financial markets. A big chunk of state revenues comes in by the highest taxpayers and the income that they earn from the financial markets. So it's really a lot of up and downs. And what you'll see on the next slide is another example of that, and this is just a quick snapshot of that COLA, the cost of living adjustment. This chart is actually sort of an average school district in the state of California, but the numbers are actually very similar to our actual numbers. And what you see there is just back in December, that green line at the top was what we were expecting to receive next year and the following year in terms of increases to our funding. And with the January budget proposal that came out last week, and you see at the bottom there that the COLA numbers went from almost 4% to now below 1%. That change from the green to the red lines over the next 2 years is about a $6 million loss in revenue for Arcadia Unified. And that's just another example of that volatility of how the state funds school districts. But here in Arcadia, we do things differently. And one of the ways that we maintain our ongoing success is through conservative fiscal practices. And at our recent budget workshop, many of the school business experts throughout the state talked a lot about the concerns that they have for the near future for school districts and their budgets. And sort of my conclusion was that a lot of those concerns don't really apply to here in Arcadia because of the way we do business on an ongoing basis. One example of that is the use of one-time money. So coming out of COVID, we've gotten a lot of one-time money, and we are on track to spend all of that money within the time frame allotted to us by the state, and we are also spending that money predominantly on one-time expenses. So it's not a concern about what do we have to cut when this money is gone, and it's not a concern about having to return that money. The other thing that we do here in Arcadia that helps us weather those ups and downs of the state budget is the reserves that we maintain. They allow us the ability to move cautiously and thoughtfully during a downturn in the economy or our funding. And what you see on the screen here is our projected ending fund balance for the end of this school year, so June 2024. And while these reserves are designated for other purposes, about half of the money you see there could be used to support general fund operations if needed. And again, these reserves give us that time to be thoughtful about any changes to programs that we may need to make. And lastly, another ingredient to our success here in Arcadia is our community support. We're very fortunate to have immense support from our community, and especially on the financial side. I'm thinking about our 2017 Measure A parcel tax and the 2006 Measure I facilities bond. We could not maintain our excellent programs, staff, and campuses without your support. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Kathleen Ashworth, Director of Nutrition Services. It's been another exciting year in nutrition services as we continue to see an increase in meal participation. In the last 5 years, meal participation has increased 121%. Already this year, we're serving 13% more meals than we served last year. We have seen the greatest increase since the start of California's Universal Free Meal Program in July of 2022. This program offers a free breakfast and lunch to all students. We are consistently now serving over 6,000 meals a day, as compared to just over 2,500 meals a day back in the 2019-2020 school year. Recently, on several days in a row, over 6,400 meals were served. Our greatest increase has been elementary schools. In order to keep up with the increased demands, we've added 5 new positions and increased hours of many existing positions. At the high school, an online ordering system with satellite pickup locations has been developed and is ready to be implemented as soon as staffing allows. We look forward to bringing back Harvest of the Month and starting a new farm-to-school program. This program is a way to connect California's agriculture with California students. Our local wellness school policy is a requirement for all districts participating in the National School Lunch and School Breakfast programs. It's a written document of policies aimed at establishing a school environment that promotes students' health, well-being, and their ability to learn. Access to healthy foods and opportunities to stay physically active are just a few factors that positively influence the health of students and improve academic achievement. Stakeholders such as school health professionals, administrators, teachers, parents, students, and community members meet 4 times a year to review the content of the wellness policy and update specific goals. These goals include nutrition promotion and education, physical activity, and other school-based activities that promote student wellness. The wellness policy also includes standards and nutrition guidelines for all foods and beverages offered during the school day and our marketing policies. State agencies are required to assess compliance with the wellness policy every 3 years. Our most recent assessment was conducted in June of 2023. The survey was sent out to students, staff, and parents and was made available for community members as well. We received 253 responses. As you can see, the majority of responses came from our employees and parents. Through the feedback from this triennial assessment, we learned that there's a desire for more edible gardens, more vegetarian and ethnic meal options, more yoga and relaxation activities, and stress management techniques. Results from the survey can be found on the Nutrition Service website on our wellness page. We look forward to another exciting year of growth as we continue to meet the needs of Arcadia students. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Kevin Harishu, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource Services. And I want to start out tonight by simply thanking our amazing staff who continue to provide world-class services to our students. One can argue that HR success can be measured in attracting and attaining talent at all levels of the organization. And this past year was no exception. We hired 36 teachers, 1 director of Ed Services, 2 principals, 1 assistant principal, 2 ABSA staff, and countless classified positions. In addition, over the past few years, we have converted approximately 90 classified staff positions from part-time to full-time. We are very proud of that. And staffing levels, as you can imagine, they're driven by student enrollment numbers. And as Mr. Esseln mentioned, enrollment has come in quite strong for the last 2 consecutive years. Last school year, we increased enrollment by 149 students from the year prior, despite a regional trend of declining enrollment. This was the first time in 8 years that AUSD saw an increase in student enrollment when compared to the prior year. And this year, we increased another 164 students from the year prior. Our ability to recruit top talent starts with the consistent commitment from our Board of Education to maintain competitiveness in salaries and total compensation. Last year, our board authorized a 9% raise to all employee groups, the largest raise in Arcadia in over 20 years. And despite being a district funded at the bottom third when measured against other districts in the state, we rank among the top salary-wise in the county for our various employee groups. And while high total compensation may attract talent, we are able to retain talent because of ongoing support to staff. This again starts with our board, who models and has established expectations around healthy culture through our values. However, I must point out that we don't do this work alone. We have incredible partners in our employee associations, ATA, ABSA, and CSEA. And I'd like to recognize the leadership of ATA President Kevin Fox, ABSA President Stephanie Perez, and CSEA President Valerie Ariola. The secret to our success lies in interest-based bargaining and frequent forums where we're able to lean into our values and wisely solve problems at the lowest level. Finally, with the help of my outstanding HR team, we continue to innovate, including rolling out a successful new automated teacher evaluation pilot, as well as an automated notification system for classified evaluations. As we look ahead to next school year, HR is in the process of hiring a new group of stellar employees that will only add to the diverse fabric of our amazing staff. Our HR mission is not simply to fill jobs, but to find the right person to serve in each position. Thank you.
Okay, as we get ready to bring you a special treat, I want to quickly thank our string quartet who played while people were entering tonight, Emily, Krista, Catherine, and Ashley. Please give them a round of applause for the beautiful music. And now we have another quartet, a saxophone quartet under the direction of Kevin Sherrill and Tom Plunkett. Please welcome Manny, Zoe, Ivy, and Marcus. Lovely indeed. One more time for Manny, Zoe, Ivy, and Marcus. Thank you, guys.
Good evening. My name's Joy Chang, and I'm the current Arcadia Council PTA president. PTA is the largest volunteer child advocacy organization in the country, and for over 125 years, PTA has worked to better the lives of every child in education, health, and safety. Your membership helps PTA have a greater voice, and I would like to thank the 7,036 people who joined this year. Also, a delegation of PTA parents, students, and our school board president, Shirley Yee, just got back from attending the California PTA Legislation Conference in Sacramento, where they were able to learn and advocate on our behalf. And there's a picture of them in the bottom corner. They're eating there, but I heard they were doing a lot of work. The theme of the Arcadia Council PTA is Come Together. With the pandemic behind us, we want to be intentional about rebuilding and strengthening our school communities. Our unit PTAs have been working very hard to organize successful fundraisers, fun activities, and special events, and it has been wonderful to see so many people in attendance. There's some examples on the screen. We had donuts with grown-ups, a snack shack at the football game, canned food drives, family fun nights. There's a jogathon, I think it was the Halloween Hustle, winter dance, and then the Reflections art program. Come Together goes beyond our individual school communities, though. Our PTA presidents are working together by sharing ideas as well as contacts and information. Administrators, school board members, and community partners from AEF and the librarians from the public library come to speak at PTA meetings and show up to support our PTA events. PTA has been invited to give input at facility master plan meetings, and I even get to have a seat at this table this evening. This coming together is what makes our district special, and I hope that you will consider joining PTA as a volunteer or a leader. We would love to have you come together with us.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Fan. I'm currently an Arcadia High School junior and the ASB student representative to the Board of Education. And as I was thinking about how to spotlight our incredibly diverse campus of over 3,000 high school students into just 2 slides, I knew the main message I wanted to get across was our community. From TK to senior year, Arcadia boasts an environment where students are not only academically enriched by our supportive faculty, but discover themselves and grow together. My peers and I are able to become one big family, whether it is through Link Crew, welcoming freshmen, the record-breaking 70 clubs on campus, to ASB bonding events like Hoop Coming, which just concluded an hour ago in support of tonight's basketball games. And moving to the second slide, there is such a wide range of organizations on campus, I can't begin to list them all. It includes our award-winning band and color guard and so much more. But the bottom line is that there is an opportunity for everyone at our school. Through efforts like equity, diversity, and inclusion, Arcadia makes diversity an utmost priority because every student, whether deeply involved or still trying to find their calling, deserves a world-class organization, one our district is proud to bring. Additionally, my peers and I are extremely grateful that our campus values wellness through support programs like the Wellness Center and Wellness Walkathon. These programs enable us to be academically driven while balancing mental health. This is just a tiny window on what Arcadia has done for youth like me to feel included and empowered. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Evelyn. I am also a junior here at Arcadia High School, and I also serve as a digital communications intern here at Arcadia Unified. And over the past 11 years that I've been here within this district, I've realized that there are a few words that can define this district better than diversity and opportunity. And that's precisely what I want to touch on today. It's no secret that this community is built upon our diversity. We're a community built of immigrants. But it's one thing to have that as simply a fact, and another thing, to use that as an opportunity to enhance our education. And that's precisely what Arcadia High School has done. Earlier this year, my AP Chinese class launched a new program with Chinese ALD students, helping us exchange both of our mutual benefits and essentially utilizing that to work on story narrations and other projects to utilize both of our respective skill sets. Additionally, we haven't just utilized our diversity in our education, but we've also appreciated it. For example, in this very facility, we host our annual multilingual, bilingual ceremonies, such as the photo up there. In addition to that, as Michelle pointed out earlier, we have over 70 clubs on campus, and we aren't just promoting diversity within the classroom. We're also promoting it outside. For example, up there you can see a few photos from some bonding events from the over 20 different clubs we have on campus focused on identity. One of them up there is a recent event from the Filipino Culture Club that focused on creating Halo Halo, which is a traditional Filipino dessert within their clubs after school. Arcadia Unified isn't just promoting a community, but they're also ensuring that every single student feels included. And that's exactly why I also want to touch on the opportunities we've offered to our students, more specifically through STEAM education. Now, Arcadia may typically have a reputation for being a very STEM-centric school, but outside of the classroom, we've really put in a lot of investment in fostering those opportunities. And it's not just at the high school. Sure, we have students here today covering for APN, but we also have middle school broadcast programs at Dana News, Foothill Middle School, and also First Avenue. For example, one of our interns on Arcadia Unified's Digital Communications intern team recently created a video based on the makerspace at First Avenue that essentially cultivates innovation for students all across the school district. In addition to that, we've seen opportunities all throughout the district. For example, in this very facility tonight, there are student interns that are covering this event and making it possible for all the lighting and all the equipment to go on. At the most recent Rupin and Clay concert that we saw earlier last year in 2023, not only were AUSC DCI interns able to cover that, we also had some orchestra students performing there. So thank you on behalf of all the administrators, teachers, and faculty that make these opportunities, diversity, and opportunities for every single student accessible.
Good evening. My name is Tony Barrios, Director of Facilities and Operational Services. At Facilities and Operational Services, we spend most of our time behind the scenes taking care of the classrooms at our operations, cleaning them at night when everybody's gone, and maintaining them when the students are not there in our maintenance department. Our transportation department obviously starts the day off with the students, dropping them off, always greeting them with a smile. And our facilities department, which is always looking to improve our facilities. One of the first projects, or one of the most recent projects we have done, is at Holly Avenue Elementary School, where we replaced 11 portables with a two-story, 19,500 square foot building. This beautiful building allows for 11 classrooms and a library to be housed there, along with 4 breakout rooms. As you can see, during the winter break, several teachers, all the teachers moved in, and allowing for the students to be able to come back from the winter break and have their first class inside the new classrooms. Again, a great project, and a lot of help from a lot of the community, and most importantly from support from all of our departments. The playgrounds is another project that we have been working on. We have 3 that we have installed at Longley Way, Hugo Reed Elementary, and Baldwin Stalker. These playgrounds are really great because we will be replacing wood chips with the new playground surfacing, and it will allow for students that are ages 2 and up to participate in using these playground structures. And also we are doing district-wide shade structures. We're putting them at every elementary and middle school. And the shade structures have been going in, with a few remaining at First Avenue and at Highland Oaks are the 2 remaining places that will get shade structures during the summer break. In addition, we have started the Facilities Master Program. A Facilities Master Program is something that we've been working with the community and has involved several people. Just recently, on January 17th, we had our community forum meeting where we had a great turnout from several people, several community members. That includes members of the School Site Council, current and past board members, city officials, APD, Arcadia Fire Department, and of course AUSD staff. And a lot of it is getting input from everybody. We've had several meetings throughout the entire year that started in June of 2023, We are about 3/4 of the way done with the facilities master plan, and we should be completed in May of 2024 with a complete, concise master plan that will tell us what is needed for the future of our students and how we'll be able to accommodate the future needs of their learning opportunities. In addition, we do have another meeting that's coming up on March 6th, our planning committee meeting. So please feel free to join us, as we do welcome any community members to join. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ryan Ferran, the Chief Communications Officer for the school district, and I work in the Public Information Office, which consists of myself and our Public Information Officer, Amber Nuvali. So I'm going to touch on communications tonight. And this is kind of a snapshot of our analytics from last year, which is basically a prototypical year. We sent out 36 district-wide email blasts to our parents, community staff, and the community members. We usually average about a press release per month, and last year we got 60 stories in the local media, which is really good, and we continue to focus on our mental health series in May for Mental Health Awareness Month. One of the forms we use to communicate a lot, and in addition to using our email, phone blast, and website, we try and make it convenient for our stakeholders and go to where they're at. We know social media is a big platform for a lot of our parents in the community and students and staff. So here's some of the numbers according to our social media. Over 805 Facebook posts last year alone, nearly 600 on Instagram, 56 more videos on YouTube. Twitter or X there's too many to count. There's a lot on there. And that's another great way to really learn more about the school district is through our social media platforms. On Twitter alone, we have, I think it's now over 400 staff members, school groups, performing arts, sports teams. Our board members are on there, principals. So it provides a nice insight into our school community on a daily basis. So when we look at some of these analytics and the reach for the social media, in the past year or so, our internship program, which Ms. Nuvali and myself run at the high school, we have 23 interns. I'll touch on that in a moment. We started doing analytics reports to see what is working best, our techniques and strategies to really try and get our message out there, inform the community, and celebrate our students and staff. So we've been really looking at the analytics, and this is a snapshot from last year's analytics. Facebook alone, we've reached over 100,000 people. Instagram, over 60,000. On YouTube, with all those videos, we've had over 1,000 hours viewed of our content. And on X, we reached over 300,000 people. To start this year, for the 10th straight year, we started this campaign a decade ago, the Arcadia First Day. Really appreciate everyone who participates, from our staff to the students to our parents. It's just such a joyful way to start the first day of school every year. And we started doing signs that they could print out, and it's really taken off. We get hundreds of photos each year, so it's a great way to start the school year and really celebrate a kickoff to the new year. And this year we had our biggest staff appreciation event ever, which is fantastic. The most staff, maybe the increased raffle prizes got some more people out there this year, but it's a really fantastic event at one of the high school football games we do every year. Last few years we've been getting it catered, meet at the rally court at the high school, so that's been really fun and something that our public information office focuses on. So we mentioned the digital communications internship. You heard from Evelyn, who is one of my fantastic interns, and why I did not speak directly after her strategically. She's so well-spoken and does such a great job promoting and sharing our story as a school district. And again, we have 23 interns that work in our office. This year alone, we've already done 12 AUSD Todays. Actually, the latest one was this week by Evelyn that did a great story. What happened here earlier last week, the PTA reflection ceremony, which we've all heard of. We know how important the arts are in our district, but it really encapsulates why we do this and why it's so important to our students throughout the district. So Evelyn did a great job. She interviewed some elementary students who were really excited. So we continue to help spread our message and story through our amazing interns. 7 articles already this semester, and just through photography and social media, we've covered 85 events through the school district thus far this semester, which is really exciting. And one thing we started to do about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, is we started a official district magazine called Imagine. And this is myself and Ms. Nuvali and our interns. We couldn't do it without our interns. We simply don't have the time or manpower. But all the photos, the stories they write, we encapsulate it basically based on each semester. And our first one there is on the far left, the orange one. And that won an award by both CalSPRA and NSPRA, state and national organizations. And this is all student-led work with their photos, their stories, and the graphic design, the layout work. And our second one is in the middle, that's out right now. And the third one, with Naomi, our Rose Queen, on the cover, is in production right now and should be out in about a week or two. So without our student interns and giving them the opportunity, they give us so much back in return. We wouldn't be able to do all these things, but we're just so appreciative to have the talented student interns and them wanting to be in our program. So thank you all so much. That is it.
Good evening. My name is Scott Bramley. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Arcadia Unified School District. It's truly an honor to come before you tonight to provide an overview of the current state of our technology services in Arcadia Unified School District. As we navigate the ever-changing landscape of education, we must not only keep pace, but also lead the charge in embracing technology to enhance the learning experience for our students. First and foremost, our commitment lies in prioritizing educational and instructional technology. We understand that in the 21st century, technology is not just a tool, but an integral part of the learning process. Our focus is on equipping our students and educators with the latest tools and resources that foster creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. Our long-standing strategy of piloting devices, educational tools, software, and services before making significant investments continues to drive our decision-making in a fiscally responsible manner. In collaboration with our Strategy and Innovation Department, our technology staff is embracing the use of artificial intelligence in education. We recognize the potential of AI to personalize learning experiences, identify areas for improvement, and foster a dynamic educational environment. Challenges such as privacy concerns, biases in algorithms, and ethical use of AI are also being actively considered. We understand in 2024 that safeguarding sensitive student, staff, and family information is non-negotiable. In a world where cybersecurity threats are becoming increasingly sophisticated, we are implementing security measures to protect the integrity of our network and the confidentiality of our data. I can share that we are in fact being hacked as I speak. A team of federal cybersecurity and infrastructure security agency employees are conducting a multi-week remote network penetration test of our assets to provide us with a report of potential risks and remedies to better secure our resources. Our cybersecurity protocols are continuously updated to stay ahead of emerging threats, and we continually test backup and recovery systems in preparation to restore services quickly in the event of a network or data breach. In addition, we are working to prioritize education for our staff and students on best practices to maintain and secure digital infrastructure. Speaking of infrastructure, maintaining a reliable and appropriate technological foundation is paramount. We understand the importance of seamless connectivity, reliable hardware, and efficient systems. Through wise purchases and proactive maintenance, we are committed to ensuring that our technology backbone is not just up to par, but exceeds expectations, enabling a smooth, safe, and uninterrupted educational experience for all. Upgrades to ensure the long-term viability of our infrastructure are being included in our current facilities master plan. In closing, I want to express my gratitude to each member of our Technology and Information Services team for their hard work, dedication in supporting our students, educators, and staff. Together with all of our departments and schools, we are shaping the future of education in Arcadia Unified School District. As we explore new frontiers in technology, let us remain committed to providing a world-class education that allows our students to imagine, inquire, and inspire in the digital age.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Greg Zanian. I'm the Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer for the Arcadia Unified School District. One of the first questions I usually get is, what is a strategy and innovation department? And one of the best quotes I've heard that explains what we do is by researcher Brene Brown. In regard to awe and wonder as a human experience, Brene Brown writes, awe and wonder are essential to the human experience. Wonder fuels our passion for exploration and learning, for curiosity and adventure. Researchers have found that awe leads people to cooperate, share resources, and sacrifice for others, and causes them to fully appreciate the value of others and see themselves more accurately, evoking humility. Our department has the honor of meeting with people at the intersection of awe and wonder. Wonder in finding new ways to inspire within Arcadia Unified, to give resources, to support new forms of instruction and resources for our students, and awe in just the amazing staff, students, parents, teachers, and more stakeholders we have throughout the district. Unlike other departments in Arcadia Unified, outside of a small core group of people, strategy innovation consists of a network of stakeholders throughout the district. In fact, our department grows anytime someone has an idea of how to make things better. That is, when we as a department step in to fund, encourage, coach, consult, and offer whatever assistance we can to make Arcadia Unified better. So I want to go over a few of the projects we've been able to support this year in the Strategy and Innovation Department. We have supported learning walks for teachers. Some of you may know that our Board of Education and executive team go on learning walks to see what is going on at school sites. We're now funding opportunities for teachers to do the same at their sites or even at other sites. We're going to continue to grow that program. We have wellness spaces for students who need to navigate some of the stressors of everyday life. We've been able to fund some of those rooms at school sites that give them a better space to do that. We have been able to fund focused counseling spaces to encourage social interaction and growth among students who need that extra space. We've been able to assist in the relaunch of an elementary robotics program, a program that started well over 20 years ago and was time for a refresh with the latest technology. We've been able to support positive behavioral interventions and supports programs as we explore behavior as a district. How can we come alongside administrators, teachers, and students and find the best ways to do that? We have real-time translation devices that we have run as a pilot. When someone comes into our office where the office staff may not speak the same language as that parent or student, these translation devices can translate in real time well over 40 different languages, and that's been a very powerful opportunity to connect and communicate and collaborate. We have new math supplies that have assisted with counting at the elementary school level. We have purchased 360-degree conferencing cameras for when PTA or other staff or even students are unable to interact in a meeting. It feels like they're really there as the camera can real-time stream that meeting to them. We have invested in flexible furniture and seating. One of the most popular questions we ask our students are, where can you go in this classroom to be your most successful? And exercising agency, those students are able to find that space and really dig into what they are learning and what they're working on. Anytime a student has, or a teacher has a question about an app or something they want to try in the classroom, they can request funding, and we're able to support that. As Mr. Bramley mentioned, we've been able to explore artificial intelligence in new ways to support our staff and our students, including creating our own internal AI chatbot that can provide information and speak with researchers up at Stanford about where they believe AI is going in terms of education. We are a member of the League of Innovative Schools, and we're able to collaborate with other districts out there who are forward-thinking, just like we are. And finally, I'm very proud to announce that we are running a leadership collaborative group for staff throughout our district who are interested in leadership. Our planning team has done an incredible job in getting that ready, and I'm very pleased to say we're having our first meeting this coming Monday for any staff who wants to discuss what leadership looks like in Arcadia Unified, whether they want to go deeper in leading where they're at or explore those positions in the future. And as of this afternoon, we've had 67 people sign up, which we're very proud of and is a huge opportunity here in Arcadia Unified. So thank you again. I would encourage you to continue to explore the wonder and awe that is Arcadia Unified and ask those questions about how we can continue to become better. Thank you.
Well, I've mostly only been listening tonight, and I feel like I have to take a breath after all of that information, so thank you. I hope, as you are listening tonight to the 360 degrees of Arcadia Unified School District, that you heard those moments of tradition with the PTA sharing those events that have been going on for many, many years, students talking about some of those student activities that happen annually and our students so much look forward to. I can't think of an example of innovation more than the modeling of asking Homeland Security to hack into our system and the vulnerability that that takes. And process when it comes to our work, our professional development with our teachers, collaborating and meeting together, and that process that's so important where the people closest to the work must be at that table when we're talking about decisions. And then, of course, relationships that are infused to all of our work, being a people business. So when you hear of all of that, I hope that our theme for this year, Building Our Future, should not be a surprise, because all of success starts with a strong foundation. As we look at the rest of 2024 and beyond, there's a couple of things, a couple of challenges and things that are on the top of our mind. The first one is enrollment, and you heard that enrollment is directly correlated to our funding model. We have TK expansion, and that's a good thing that we're adding students, but in essence, it's like adding an entire new grade level to Arcadia Unified. And that not only impacts us from staffing and programming, but also from facilities as well. That leads to our discussions on our facilities master plan. Any of us that talk about maintaining our own homes understand that it's a constant battle. And our facilities are always aging. We looked at that beautiful new Holly Avenue building that just replaced buildings that came of age, that were good for about 25 years, and we were hitting that age. And we will be hitting more of that throughout the years in Arcadia. And so it is our responsibility, the board's responsibility and vision, to continue to stay ahead of that, to ensure that our students and our staff are in safe environments, and environments that are conducive to learning. Not only is that facilities master plan important to have that vision, but also then the discussions that will follow that plan with how do we prioritize these projects, and then ultimately, how do we fund these projects, design and implement these projects. And then building and maintaining community. I've included this one over the last 3 of these presentations to the community, and it continues to be vital to our success. We are going to have difficult times ahead. There's days of chaos out there. There's moments of a lot of disagreement, strong opinions. And yet, there is nothing else, there is no other place that we have more in common than in education. I think all of us as educators, as parents, we are here in Arcadia because we value education and we want our children to thrive and have the tools that they need when they leave Arcadia to be successful in the world. So that, maintaining that focus on education, that's not something that you get to, it's not a destination, it's work every day to maintain, to keep out distractions and to ensure that our work, all of our eyes are on the most important things in this district, and that is our students' education. And then that productive dialogue. We have to model for our students what that looks like, that you can indeed come together and have differing opinions and disagree and emotionally, have charged subjects that you disagree on, and yet together, working together, you can come to a better solution than alone. Our students' success is often the work that we see on the daily basis, right? As a teacher, it was those aha moments when you see the lights, the students' eyes light up. And so, we see that success. We're talking about it tonight. And yet, we do appreciate when we are recognized externally. And so I am so proud to share tonight that the recent 2024 niche report has Arcadia Unified as #1 best school district in Los Angeles, #4 best school district in the state, and the #38 best school district in the United States. And you can applaud at that. I just want to say quickly to thank you to our entire community, because that recognition comes through the daily work of our staff, our students, and of course, our dedicated parents. So thank you for everything that you do that has led to that. And I wanted to end with this slide. As we talk about our programs, our facilities, our educational programs, We like to look at that vertical alignment because one of the powers of being a unified school district is you get to design a vertically aligned program from TK all the way through 12 to ensure that the students are getting that scaffolding and that best education as we hand them off after high school. So this is truly our culminating event, and anyone that's had the opportunity to have a senior or a staff member that's experienced our graduation over at Santa Anita Park, it is truly an amazing event and a beautiful spectacle. But our success, as I opened up sharing our purpose, is truly defined by our students going out in this world, no matter where that is on the globe, and making a positive and profound impact on their world. And so I thank you for every one of you for your role in the Arcadia Unified School District success. And with that, Madam President, I'll conclude the State of the District. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before we conclude tonight's State of the District, I wanted to give the opportunity to my fellow board members to make any comments about our presentation tonight. So let's start with Mrs. Kinsler, and we'll just work our way down.
Good evening. I hope you take away just how, in my opinion, very well run our school district is. I'm very proud of the leaders all the way down, but it takes truly everyone to make the school district work. And you know, our focus is truly on the children to make sure that we get the right education for every child. And it shows in every day-to-day action that everybody up here and all the staff throughout our district do on a day-to-day basis. And I am proud to serve on this board of great other leaders to make this happen.
Good evening, Raymond Chung. As President Lee mentioned, I'm a board member and a parent. I'm also a former student. So, you know, I came through Arcadia schools from kindergarten all the way through graduating from Arcadia High. And when my parents were thinking about what district to move to send me to kindergarten, they did their research, but the decision was pretty easy. They chose Arcadia. And when I made that decision for my children, of course, I have a bias, but I chose Arcadia as well. And that's in large part due to what a lot of the folks tonight were talking about, establishing that world-class education, that destination district, really prioritizing education for our students. And, you know, so well exemplified by, you know, Michelle and Evelyn and the great work that they are doing in schools and the programs that they talked about tonight. So I really want to thank everyone on this stage. This is such an important event for not only for us as board members to see the big picture. You know, we look at, you know, we'll go on boardwalks and we see the day-to-day work, but when it comes together all in one event, really see how much work and effort it takes to make change over the years. It's just so important to see, not just for us, but for the community as well. So I really appreciate all the hard work putting this together. Of course, not just the folks on stage, but those who are behind the scenes. Not literally, of course, but you know, all the PTA parents, all the nearly 1,300 employees, classified, certificated, all the parents, of course, who are working every day to, you know, make sure they get their students to school on time, and so our teachers can give them that world-class education they deserve. So just thank you to everybody, and really appreciate tonight.
Thank you, Madam President. A lot of it has already been said. A lot of my comments have already been summarized by everyone else, but we've heard a lot of great information today, a lot of great data. Hopefully, the rest of our community can hear it also and appreciate all that's been done. It doesn't get done without great people, and that's what we have here in Arcadia, and that's very special. all people, our staff, our teachers, our students, our parents, our community. This is a special place. And it's great also because we all look at the same, we're looking in the same direction. We're all following that same mission. So I just want to express my thanks and appreciation to everybody in this room and others that are part of this great community. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Lee Chavez, board member, past parent. Dr. Van Osdol started tonight really focused in on tradition and innovation and the balance and the tug between the two. And I think I'll just end my comments with community and collaboration, which this half of the table spoke so eloquently to, in terms of building community in our families and building community in our students. And the other half of the table kind of spoke to on the collaboration and building community within the organization, as well as bringing parents and those who are not maybe having a child in the district right now, but can participate in things like the facilities bond, or excuse me, not bond, but plan, and dreaming for our future, because we are building for our future. The thing that really resonated with me tonight, aside from all the work that was put into sharing this district at a very high, overarching level, where you got to hear about all the different pieces that work together to create a functioning district, is the fact that we talked about programs and services and what it means to really address student needs. And we didn't lead with, hey, we were recognized as the #1 district in LA. It is a wonderful outside affirmation, but it is just a testament to the work that happens every day, where we keep students at the center of decision making, and where we really do inspire each other as well as students to make a profound and positive impact on our world. And so thank you to all the preparation that went into the state of the district. Thanks, Madam President.
Thank you so much, my fellow board members, for your and always insightful comments. And I would also like to thank everyone on this stage for your wonderful presentations and just giving us that snapshot of all the hard work that goes into running this district and why we're so successful in all the things that we do. And like Lee said, it is the collaboration and the community that we have here, and it is very special, like Fenton said. And I think I just want to end with, you know, at the end of the day, it's our students that we're here for, and to be able to hear our students, Michelle and Evelyn, speak so eloquently about their experiences here is just a testament to the job well done to everybody in this community, because it starts from our parents, it starts from our teachers, our administrators, everybody that supports our students, 360. And like Joy had said, I just got back from Sacramento for the LegCon conference, and I always love going to it, not because I'm going to meet a senator or a representative in Congress, but to see our students lead and be able to speak so eloquently about the issues that are so important to them. That is what is so amazing, and it was an amazing 2 days for me to just watch. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope that we were able to give you a snapshot of what we're doing, and we welcome, of course, anyone to you know, come up to us, talk to us whenever you see us. We're happy to do so, and have a wonderful night. Thank you.